All right, then, Cedric, you were saying.
Okay, so Dan Rather was talking about the bravery of America and what it represents, and everybody's down in America. Me too, but you have to think about the fact that everybody thinks of America as its representatives. We all know its representatives suck, but as a country, the majority of us are more and more progressive as the years go on. And that's because the older ones, this is sad to say, the racist ones, the misogynistic ones, the xenophobic ones are dying. And the older, the younger ones, the ones that people call millennials or the Generation X that nobody likes, have grown up in the age of the internet. And they have seen things across the world. And bridges have been built and crossed, and so they don't have that fear of the other because they talk to the other every day.
Yeah.
So the innovation and the things that are going to move us forward are of the people, not the representatives. The representatives represent the corporations, not us, and we have to get rid of them so that we can have people that represent us because the innovation comes from us. Everybody who did something great in this country, who invented something, was a regular person, rich or poor. They were a regular person. Tesla, the dude who's doing the Tesla shit, I can't think of his name right now, Elon Musk, he's not a representative. He's a rich dude who got some ideas and the money to back it up.
And an expensive car.
Exactly, that he put in space with a little man in it.
Yes.
You know, that's some awesome shit. Now, I don't know
It
politics. I don't know anything like that. But it's that kind of thinking that comes from us Americans who are progressively running this country in a different direction. We just got to get representatives that represent that direction. And that is the extremely hard part.
Look, I want to wholeheartedly agree with everything, but the problem is this. Dan Rather, who he's not Mr. Beat or anything, but Dan Rather, what he said was that America is home of the brave and talk about the brave things that Americans do, when the truth is, if Americans were brave, we wouldn't have the crap that we have in office. We wouldn't have the crap that we have in our Congress, our Senate. We wouldn't have the crap that we have for our Supreme Court. We would actually do the right thing as citizens, not just taxpayers, but citizens of the United States. And we would actually be involved in our government. Our government, back in the day, they used to go home and be family people. That was it. And whenever something came up, if a new law or bill or the people were saying something was needed, they go to work. So they might go in the office once a month, maybe every other month, and they would get paid during their time in office when they're doing regulations and things like that. That's what they would do. It's not like that anymore. Now, they're career politicians where they sit on office for 6, 12, 10, 30, 40, 60 years, and they just sit there. And when it comes to the racists dying out, the biggest, the xenophobes dying out, they aren't. What they're doing is teaching their children and their friends that same hatred. They're teaching that hatred to them, and they are spreading it to their friends and whatnot. How else are you going to get 12-year-olds and 16-year-olds, 19 and 20 and 25-year-olds out there doing this racist, bigoted shit that they do? How else are you going to get that? When they show a black figure, okay, they're supposed to represent African American hanging from a toilet tissue. When they write the N-word on people's cars, when they go out and kill somebody, when they hang some little kid that wanted to be their friend, when they go into a church that wants to call him or her brother, and he goes and shoots everyone up. See, that's what keeps going on. And while the internet does bridge gaps, the internet does allow us to talk to others across seas and north and south of us. That's great, and that's awesome, and I've loved every second of it. Playing Final Fantasy XI, my first online game of such, I got to talk to people in Japan. I used to party in Final Fantasy XI with people in Japan, and they liked me for the most part. They would kick others from the party just for me, and I loved that. I miss that, actually. But that's the kind of stuff that we need. And we felt that when Obama was being elected. We felt that very thing. Everyone on the planet, everyone in every single nation, every country wanted Obama to be president because they believe, considering that everything happens with the United States that branches out. Because somebody hit a button on Wall Street, every other country suffered because of what happened here in the United States. That's way too much power. And when the world sees it like that, and sees that their governments are in cahoots with the United States, with all these regime changes and whatnot, they're going to revolt properly. That's what we're missing. And the millennials, something else that makes them a little more progressive, because they can't be apathetic too much. You know why? I'm going to tell you this, Cedra. The reason being, because they got to suffer. It sucks. This dude named Anthony Hodges, I didn't like him too much. Didn't like him. He threatened me for no reason. But he said something that I disagree with then, and I'm all like, damn, man, maybe it's true. He said suffering builds character.
Yes, it does.
Suffering builds character. And because to me, I'm like, why do you have to suffer? Why can't you just have good character? I had good character.
They're not over there now.
But then again, a lot of people just don't, which is something I'm going to talk about later. And I think I'm going to name it like, are people inherently bad or inherently evil or whatnot? There's a lot of nuance going with that, but that's what I'm gonna try to talk about that later. Okay, Dan Rather's doing a good job. I'm listening to his TYT thing. It's about an hour and 11 minutes long. We only like 14 minutes into it. But what's going on is people need to stand up. The school shooting that happened, the massacre, not the mass shooting, the massacre that happened, and Trump is trying to use that to block the Russia investigation. So that lets you know what kind of president that we elected, sadly. So, I mean, that's how things are. You know, that's my rebuttal. I know, but is America home of the brave? Sometimes, somewhat, it can be. Are we home of the free? Free to do what? I'm going to talk about what we're not free to do in another post. I got a lot of stuff to say that I've been holding back because I tried to be all nice and whatnot, trying to get some subscribers because I didn't want to come across as the angry black man that, racists fear and use that so much to their benefit to the point where Obama couldn't be who he wanted to be. I assume that's what was part of it, other than him just hating the black side of him and doing everything he can to appease the Republicans who he say he was against. Because, the change we got some good ones, but it was incremental and not in our favor. I wish we were like the Banks and he just bailed us the fuck out. But anyway, that's all I got to say. You got anything else to say, Cedra?
I really can't.
All right, then.
I have something to say.
What you got to say?
Thank you for listening to us, people. Hope you like it.
It's Cedric Kennedy, Cedra Owens, and our baby girl, Solstice Owens Kennedy, for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.